Yeah. This is not an investment advice, by
We
the
just
way.
like the stock. We just like the companies.
We just like the companies.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're talking about. What is up, Jake Paul Biz? It has been a minute, but we are back. I'm here with Geoffrey Woo, and we are going to be talking about Anti-Fund, our venture capital fund, giving you guys some updates. We launched earlier this year, and you haven't really heard much from us, but we've been crushing it. I know I always say we're crushing it, but what does that mean? What have we been up to? What are some of the investments? What's our thesis? Why do we start Anti-Fund? Kind of want to just tap in with the community and give you guys a little bit of a video.
Yeah, no, that's a great intro. And besides Jake knocking people out, we've just been doing business. So fast forward almost 9 months, we've done over 25 investments, and back some of the best entrepreneurs, best companies that are changing the world within crypto, within e-commerce, within the creator economy, and just software infrastructure. So exciting times. I mean, I think as I've gotten to know Jake over the, doing business, the guy is just a machine, doesn't stop. And it's the same with the business as well as with athletic endeavors.
And likewise with Jeff, I think we make a pretty awesome team, if I do say so myself. But we originally started Anti-Fund, sort of broad thesis of connecting sort of Hollywood into tech and the crypto space and just consumer products as well, consumer companies as well. It's been working, and I think there needs to be a bridge between Hollywood and tech because as a influencer or celebrity, whatever you want to call what it is that I do, boxer, I don't even know what it is, but we want to be in tech. We want to be a part of these deals. We want to be in the startups. And you see some NBA players, LeBron, Kevin Durant, different guys like that with different funds or different investments that they're making all of the time, but it's a different industry, and I've obviously been a part of it since I was 18 years old, so it's very native to me. But we wanted to bring some influence, marketing, Hollywood, and all of that into the tech space, and that's sort of where this duo comes from. And I know you can speak more on the thesis, really.
Yeah, if Jake is just bred into the modern celebrity, the modern influencer, I would say that I'm kind of steeped within Silicon Valley. Studied computer science at Stanford, been operating, starting, and investing in businesses in San Francisco over the last 10 years. Jake likes to say yin and yang, and just like a complementary duo. I think there's an interesting package that we bring as Anti-Fund, backing the best entrepreneurs. But just even stepping back, I think there's this world of Hollywood and Silicon Valley. I think you can also just talk about it in a different, maybe even more abstract way. When you look at starting a new company, a new business, I think we realize that there's only two main things that matter. One, there's capital, that's resources to get going. But I would argue, and I think our thesis here is that attention, actually getting the people going, actually having people care in this very noisy, chaotic environment that we all live in, attention is actually as equally important, if not more important, commodity. And Jake has been literally patient zero in being able to drive, capture, and utilize and marshal this attention to all of his personal endeavors. And now with Anti-Fund, taking that playbook, that secret sauce, into backing the best founders and entrepreneurs and wielding attention to maximize not just the economic value, but we like to back business that we feel good about, to change the world in a better way.
Yeah, and I think that's where we found success, and we're both founders and entrepreneurs ourselves, and so a lot of VCs come in and they just are like, here's $1 million, and they're not actually very helpful. Some of the most helpful people when I was raising money were the ones who wrote the lowest dollar amount from a check standpoint. So we like to back amazing founders and entrepreneurs, and there's millions of ideas out there, who can actually get the attention and the marketing into their business. And I think that's where we play an important and pivotal role, is helping with a lot of this, because business is straightforward, and there's a certain way to build a company, and Series A and Series B, and growth and finances and but I've been able to help a lot with the founders. It's just a simple marketing analysis, or helping them with different ideas of how to brand themselves, using some of my social channels if it makes sense to sort of help with whatever messages or news that they want to get out there. Jeff's right, attention is one of the most valuable things, because like I said, if there's a million ideas, whose idea is going to garner that attention? And you could have the same idea as someone else, but if they have the attention, then there's obviously going to prevail.
And then for folks that are, technical, I would consider myself a technical engineer, founder by background. I think the ability to drive attention is not very obvious until you walk into a stadium with 20,000 people chanting Jake's name, or just even in a more maybe a political landscape. I think one analogy we like to think about a lot is there's Donald Trump, who isn't the richest person in the political field, but he has an ability to drive attention. And in the last political election, there was a guy named Michael Bloomberg. He's a legit 50, 100 billionaire. He was a former mayor of New York. He spent $1 billion in his campaign and nothing happened. Literally, he got slapped around and got embarrassed. And I think that shows, I think it's very informative to us to really realize that there's something different between capital and venture capital and money and actual influence, actual attention, actually getting the people going. And I think, again, that's where this combination, this unique insight has allowed us to partner with some of the best founders. Maybe we talk about the spaces that we're most excited about.
It's been, 9 months, 6 months, I don't know. Time is flying by. All these years and months feel like one. I've just been fighting so much. Jeff's been so busy every single day, but wow, we've been really active, super busy. What is a creator economy? We're playing a lot in the crypto space. I mean, for both of us, I think that's been one of the most fun places, and just toying around with NFTs personally in our free time, and then straight to consumer products, CPG. I've been messing around a little bit there, and we're actually doing a bunch of stuff in the cannabis industry, dabbling in gambling.
Yeah, I mean, I think we like areas that will fundamentally change how we all live. I think some of it is on the lifestyle side. We think that sports gaming is going to be a new way that people engage with their sport.
Our recent thing that came out in the press was Anti-Fund. We led a $30 million Series C of Simple Bet, which is a micro betting company. It's a software, a back-end software basically, that powers DraftKings micro betting, FanDuel micro betting, and a couple other platforms. But I think, and you're gonna hear me talk a lot about micro betting over the next year or two, because I think micro betting personally is the future of how our generation will place bets. I think betting on a match outcome is cool now. It's still fun, I've done it, but it's not as instant gratification. When I played the Simple Bet product, I was instantly hooked because I got to bet on run or pass in football. First down, I got to bet on every single play, and it was more instant gratification. I was winning money faster. And I'm big into culture and like predicting trends. I think that's like what I've basically built my career off of was built being ahead of the curve. And I think Simple Bet and micro betting specifically is the future of interacting with sports and sports gaming.
Yeah, and I think it's also just good for sports culture in general. I think a lot of us already think about vicariously being on the field with our favorite players and being able to bet, hey, this is going to be a first down or a run or a pass, or this is a ball or a strike. I think really the sports leagues need something like this. When you look at the average MLB fan is an aging population. I think that, we'll just put it out there. We think that cannabis will be legal across the country. We're not saying what anyone should or should not choose whatever substances, but look, in our generation and younger, this is going to be something that is socially acceptable and then will be culturally and hopefully formally legally acceptable. Most everyone wants it, just waiting for the laws to actually change. That's one aspect that we're leaning forward against. And then we think that the way we deal with finance, the way we deal with crypto is completely going to change. I think maybe our parents, not even our parents' generation, really our grandparents' generation, were maybe collecting gold bars. I think Manifold is another great example of a crypto company. So artists like People Pleaser, Fuck Render, some of the most popular NFT artists that are selling millions of dollars of art at Sotheby's are using Manifold's smart contract. And actually the founder CEO, Eric, was like just a good personal friend of ours, just consulting and advising us when you were dropping your first NFT project. So shout out to Eric and the Manifold team, just really being very like OG of the OGs.
Yeah. Eric has been awesome, and along the same lines with the NFT world, Alchemy, which is basically like the Amazon server. A lot of people don't know this. Gonna misquote the numbers here, but Amazon makes like I think 40% of its revenue from just selling products, the stuff we get on Amazon.com. But what you don't see is the Amazon servers, where they make like 60% of their money roughly. I'll probably correct the numbers in the edit somewhere right here, but they back all of these software companies, technology systems, and now Alchemy is doing that in the NFT space. And every NFT basically that is sold is powered by Alchemy. So Nikhil and Joe, who you've been friends with for a long time.
Yeah, just saw him recently at the Stanford reunion, so shout out to Stanford.
Alchemy is another great one, another company that is crushing it.
I think that's our first multi-billion-dollar market cap company that we back. So we invest in their Series B at a $500 million valuation, and just the news came out just this morning, $3.5 billion. So a lot of bags. Good job.
You guys can clap too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like a number of other blockchain projects that are either stealth, but another one that is doing great is Affinity. We're talking a lot about NFTs, and there's also innovation on the protocol layer. So Affinity is building a new blockchain in the Polkadot ecosystem. So we're just gonna throw a bunch of jargon out there. But essentially, these are the people that made the ERC 1155 protocol. So they invented the protocol behind what even like NFTs are, right? There's ERC 721s, ERC 1155. So this is a team that actually invented one of the key protocols that other projects are using, and they have a new blockchain called Affinity that we've been also early backers on. So check that out, especially for project creators when you're choosing blockchains. That's a potentially very interesting one as the Polkadot ecosystem and the multi-blockchain universe kind of pans out.
Wilder World, I've been posting about, so shout out to Wilder World team. They've been super amazing, and it's so interesting to learn and see and study what these teams are doing, because it is the future. If you think about it, like eventually we're all just gonna have VR goggles on and live and playing and breathing, and everything will probably be a metaverse.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg changed the Facebook company name to Meta. We should talk about BitCountry. So up and coming emerging project that hasn't yet launched, but they're essentially a platform that allows every single every community, every project create their own metaverse. It's also on the Polkadot ecosystem. Great people behind that project. I know these guys are serious builders. So when that comes down the line, that's gonna be exciting to watch as well.
It's crazy to think about how our parents grew up, and I know your dad does real estate and stuff, and my dad used to be a real estate agent, but I mean, he failed. Sorry, Dad, but he didn't fail, but he just wasn't. Anyways, they had real estate, and now we're coming into this new generation, and it's all happening so fast where it's digital real estate. People are actually buying blocks of land inside of these worlds, such as BitCountry or Decentraland, and they're actually worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And so the future of real estate even is now going digital, which how is that even possible? Because it's not actually real estate.
Right.
It's digital estate.
But I think when we break it down for like you have millions of followers in a community on these digital platforms, and that blue check mark that we have and some of you folks have, that literally is social currency. So there is absolutely value there.
Who do you want to live next to?
Yeah.
Who's your neighbor?
Yeah.
Who's gonna, if there's millions of fans, I think that's what all of these, metaverses and Decentraland and people like this who are making their product just worth more, because who's involved and what's the going rates, and can you arbitrage and make money? Can you buy a plot of land early and then sell it for more? I mean, that's what real estate is.
Yeah, so, I mean, how does this play out? I mean, my thought here, and curious to get your thoughts here, Jake, is that we don't think there's gonna be just one project that's just the king of everything. I think that would be actually a very strange world if someone was the dictator of the digital metaverse. I think our approach is that there was gonna be interchangeable worlds that you can bring in your digital wallet. You can take the clothes, the cars, the different NFTs that you collect and install them into all these different iterations. And I think it'll be very interchangeable. Just like when you go to a club, you don't have to buy your clothes at the club. You can bring your clothes, you can have your car that roll to the club.
Exactly.
And that's like, I think, the analogy to think of when we're entering different metaverses. You don't have to just go to one game, buy your clothes in a car in that one game. You should be able to take your clothes that you buy, that's in your crypto wallet, and take it to whatever club, whatever venue you want. fund. So multiple winners and folks out there building really amazing metaverses that are, gamified or have an interesting twist. Those are projects we're really excited about.
It's exciting stuff, honestly.
Look, we're already spending so much of our lives. You're probably seeing this on YouTube or Instagram or your favorite social platform. And that's going to be increasingly how we engage with each other. I don't know if and hopefully we do this in a healthy way, right? I think we both like to stay physically fit, and that's why I think we also look like health tech and biotech and things that keep us all fit and sane.
Side of things, we have an investment.
We all have to eat, right?
We all have to eat.
So I think like food is going to be an important part of just one, health, and also sustainability, right? Like we all know that we're in a very interesting changing climate, changing environment. If we're all going to be in metaverses, we're all going to be being online creators, we better have the food and the bio side to be really, really dialed in. So we like the future of food as also an interesting category.
On specifically coffee, which I love coffee. Cometeer, also another one of our favorite investments. It's the future. We have our Keurig, we have the Nespressos, but how good actually is that coffee, and how is it made, and how is it processed? And I think that's why Cometeer is so unique, is because it's taking the old Keurig model, which I'm sure every person in college or the younger people watching it, everyone's starting to drink coffee. Obviously the older people drink coffee all the time, but what is the future of coffee? And I think our generation is moving towards health, cleanliness, and having the best product for your body. The way Cometeer works is just futuristic.
When we talked to the founder CEO, Matt, I mean, this guy is just like legit, does not stop talking about coffee. I'm like, yo, Matt, I don't want to talk about coffee anymore. But essentially what he's done is that he hired a bunch of MIT engineers to figure out how to brew and then flash freeze coffee at its perfect peak temperature aroma, and then they ship it to you in these like frozen ice pucks. You just melt it down, and it's legit good coffee. You benchmark it against a barista at your favorite third wave, fourth wave, whatever wave coffee we're on. And they work with all like the best roasters too. So yeah, when you compare this to the old school Keurigs that are powdered and frankly kind of burnt, very, very different.
We want the best of the best. I think their wait list is like completely booked. Right?
Yeah.
Like coffee is something that my mom loves. I love it. Something that's a part of people's everyday life. I don't think we can even get on the Cometeer list.
I'll get you on, Jake.
Product.
I'll get you.
You can get me on.
I'll get you on. Matt, get Jake on.
They're fully booked. I need some Cometeer coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, when we look at the future and what Anti-Fund is excited about, it's any entrepreneurs, the best people that are building category-defining companies that we think are going to make the world a better place. So whether it's food, whether it's crypto, whether that's software infrastructure, whether it's more emerging categories like cannabis or sports gaming. Honestly, I think it just tickles our own curiosity. I think I've come to appreciate that we're both just like nonstop and just curious. So when we're talking to people at the cutting edge of their field, they're just literally like, wow, like fun.
Yeah, it's empowering the future, and that's what I love about doing this is you meet awesome founders, you see what the people of the world are creating for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years from now. What does the future look like? And that's why this journey has been so fun, and we've been crushing it with Anti-Fund, and it's been doing so well. We have a lot of our own money personally invested into the fund. Shout out to our LPs. Things are great, and I think just a little tease, I think we're looking to ramp up in 2022 and do an even bigger raise based off of our track record and success that we've had, because the returns have just been astronomical. I guess we're LPs into our own fund in a major way, so as an LP, I'm very proud of us, and man, things are going great.
I think we're also just like all curious about how the world of investing will evolve too, right? Like if folks are a little bit more crypto native or DeFi native, there's these DAOs or distributed autonomous organizations that are coming together, issuing tokens, making more of these investments more accessible to everyone, right? I think one of the original things that we were excited about with Anti-Fund is how do we get all of our people, all of our friends, family,
anyone watching this video?
Yeah, how do we get everyone behind Anti-Fund and our companies?
Should we make Anti-Fund a DAO? Leave your comments below. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't know what I would say after that. I mean, I think that is where the future of even investing will evolve, and I think it would be, I would be disappointed in ourselves if we're not just pushing the envelope of what is possible and how do we bring people together.
One thing we have to point out before leaving is that Squid Games, I'm sure everyone has seen Squid Games, they they copied our logo.
I know.
The piggy bank, they copied us. So shout out to the Unipig. If you're confused about the logo, I think it's the greatest thing in the world. People compliment us all the time on our logo. It's a pig that funds unicorn companies, hence Unipig. If you want to become an anti-fund LP or just read more about our thesis and what we're doing, we'll put the link in the description. Always plug, subscribe to the channel, and you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We'll put Jeff's links as well. We'll put my links in the description so you can stay up to date with everything we're doing on the business side. Anti-Fund, Jeff Woo, Jake Paul, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned.